Welcome back, Goblin. Today we are taking a look at the tier list my chat and I put together the other day over on my Twitch channel. I think it turned out pretty good, but let me know down below if you agree or disagree with any of our choices. Make sure you subscribe to my YouTube and check me out on Twitch. Because I'm a bit low energy, to be honest with you. Hosting the Powerline show was actually pretty intense. It was a lot of fun, though. But I figured this would be a really good time to finish our tier list that we started working on. What do you guys think? Do you wanna do the tier list and start working on it again? Actually, what I think I'm gonna do here is, let's see. Hold on, let me add something real quick here. Copy this. But how does that sound, guys? Oh god, what have I done? Something has happened. This is not good. I don't know where my webcam just went. Oh, it's like in here. I see. That's weird. I don't know why I did that. I guess we could do this. Alright. Alright. Yeah. Why don't we do the StarCraft 2 unit tier list that we started the other day? You're interested in being angry about your tier list? Absolutely, dude. Let's do it. Okay, so we did start this, but I've just reset it so we can do it from the beginning. And I'll also marker so that we can have some content, dude. So feel free to chime in if you want to, chat. Let me know what you think and what your reasoning is behind your decision. But I'm just going to kind of randomize this a little bit. Like, just put them around different spots so it's not the same as it was last time. Okay, here we go. So, our first unit that we have is the Disruptor. Disruptor... I feel like Disruptor is A. I think it's A tier. I don't think it's S tier. Well, maybe it is. Let me think. So the things I'm trying to think about when we start doing these is, number one, is it used in every matchup? Number two, how limited or useful is it in that matchup? Number three, is it just a good unit in general? And you do actually use it versus Terran and Zerg, and you can use it versus Protoss. It's not used in every single build, but it is used in a lot of builds. It's quite good, and it is also very difficult to deal with as any one of those players. It requires you to be very focused. Yeah, it is ground only. I think you guys are right. I think Disruptor is S tier. I think it is S tier. I think it's S tier. I don't think we should keep something out of S tier because it can only attack the ground. But I think it is S tier. You guys have you've convinced me. You've convinced me. I do think it's S tier. Now I thought about it a bit more, and you're right. I do. I think it's S tier. So we'll put it in S. Okay. Nice. Hellbat. Hellbat. I'm gonna put that in D. Hellbats are pretty bad. What do you guys think? I don't think Hellbats are very good at all. They fit literally in maybe 2 types of builds. C, maybe? No way. No way Hellbat is C. It's slow as heck. It's trash. 90% of the time, the Hellions that transformed into the Hellbat is better. The only time you see Hellbats in TVZ are when either A, you're going Swarm Hosts, or B, they are going for like a Hellbat Banshee push. So there's like an initial power spike that's potential with them, but I think it's D. I think it's D. Yeah, really not playable. See, I disagree, Ragnar. I think they're very easy to deal with. Even if you don't scout them. So long as you don't play super greedy, what's the big deal? Okay, Hellion. B. Hellion is B. Versatile. Used in at least 2 matchups. I think it's used in TBT. Used against Zerg. Very solid harassment unit. Basically, Terran's only like ground-based harassment unit. I think it's a B. I think it's a solid B. It's not used in every single matchup. It's not incredible. It is easily countered, but the mobility is very good. Also, it has a lot of creep clearing potential. It can win games, but yeah, usually just a very solid like filler. In fact, you know what, guys? I'm gonna mute all the music here. So in case I have to trim this back down because we got DMCA'd from the first 2 musics, it doesn't actually matter. I'm not going to change it, so never mind. It doesn't matter. Okay, Immortal. Immortals. Let's think about them. Let's see. Immortals versus Zerg. Very good. Can completely shut down roach-based armies and Ultralisks. Very useless versus anything that's in the air. Can only attack ground-based units. You know what? I think I'm gonna turn the music back on. I changed my mind. DMCA be heck. DMCA be heck, but I will turn it down. And we'll also switch to some techno, just to make it a little bit more of a chill vibe. But give me your thoughts, guys. Why is this? I see some A's. I see some B's. Why are we thinking this? What is your reasoning? I do love this album a lot, but we'll switch it. Here we go. That'll be a little bit easier. B. I think it's a B. 275 minerals, 100 gas, quite expensive. Immortals are arcane PvP, but stalkers are better. Can you please produce less interesting content? I can't. A. It's often the meat of any ground army. I do agree that stalkers are better in PvP because they can be micro much better. They're extremely tanky. They're a solid follow-up to cannon rushes, so you can do the immortal juggle. They are used in the same type of cannon rush versus Terran, if I'm not mistaken. You can do a Warp Prism immortal juggle. Yeah, I'm gonna say B. I'm gonna say they're B. They're B tier. They're good in everything. Yeah, minus PvT. But you can hard counter them. They're not like just universally 100% of the time good. I mean, not really much in this game is. Besides disruptors, apparently. Okay, infestors. Infestors. Let's think about infestors. See, the Zerg units are where I will have a lot more to say, I think. S tier. Okay, well, literally one of their abilities is never used. Their other ability, they do not start with enough energy to use, so they're not immediately useful. They're very expensive. B or A? What about them makes them so good, though? Fungal is certainly nice. Neural Parasite is nice as well. Let's think about when you would actually use Neural. Like, as like a solid part of your strategy. You could build a composition around Neuraling Sky Toss. Fungal is nice, but Neural is incredible. See, I'm getting... These ones are... I knew that spellcasters would be like this. They're all over the board. A, D, B, S, C. It's like literally run the entire gamut. Infestors. Fungal is, I think, their best ability. Fungal kills bio, kills ghosts. Yeah. Neural blocks entire compositions in ZBT. Just Mass Thor. That's it. I would argue that Immortals do the same. They block Mass Roach. If you just make Immortals, Mass Roach will lose. I'm between B and C. They used to be strong. If this was back in the infested Terran meta, boom, S tier. Or Mass BC. It's hard to do that, dude. A, C. I'm gonna go C. I think they're C. I think they're good, but man, are they a far cry from where they used to be. Because it's nigh impossible to use Neural unless you're at a very high level in a way that's actually going to successfully impact the game in like a very solid way. Yeah, I wish they were a little bit better. They are such an amazing unit. Microbial Shroud it's literally deleted. Like, who cares? And that's something to think about. Literally 1/3 of their ability is just garbage. Drone. The drone is an S tier. If we're comparing it to its counterparts, drone wins every single fight. It is actually S tier. Drones win every single worker fight if all of them A move. Probes can win, but you have to micro the absolute crap out of them in order to regen enough shield and then win the fight. Probe is S, drone is A. Is it because of the micro? Arguably, probes build cannons though. Okay, never mind. No, drones are S. Drone is terrible. Drone is amazing, dude. And it can burrow. And it can burrow. None of the other units in the game get another upgraded ability. Drones do. They get burrow. That's amazing. That's amazing. All units can burrow, not probes or SCVs. Got you there. Okay, Lurker. Yeah, I'm gonna go S. I think this is a snap call S. No, it's S. Lurkers are incredible. In the current meta, Lurkers are absolutely insane. They're basically good versus everything except for air toss, exclusively air toss. That's it. And they're still even useful in that for sieging down bases and for clearing any High Templar that they might try to do. Yeah, they're amazing. Lurkers are S. Insta burrow and 10 range. 10 range is phenomenal. A lurker in ZVT sounds awful. You are missing out, Ragnarok Cat. You have no idea how incredible they are. Literally, range 10 lurkers now, because of range 10, they are they're so good. You can play lurkers versus almost any composition. They're so good. They're actually... Lurker Viper Hydra is literally now one of the best compositions Zerg can go in the entire game. In the entirety of the game, Lurker Viper Hydra is almost unbeatable. Do siege tanks not have 13 range all of a sudden? They do. I mean, okay, if you're looking at all the units in the game that they can one-on-one fight, yes, siege tanks technically should be able to kill them. But keep in mind, siege tanks have to scan. In order, they can't even see them. They're literally, they're invisible. So they have to scan. So if they get to use an ability to kill it, then sure, we'll use one ability. Viper yoink, dead. Viper yoink, dead. Okay, moving on. Lurkers are S. Like, there's no way you can convince me otherwise. Reaper. A. I'm gonna, well, Reaper. C? You think Reaper is C? Huh. D. Wow. I don't know if you can put a unit that is literally made every single game. Literally does one thing. Okay. Okay. It's not even good at that. You're maybe convincing me. I don't think it's D. Is it D? It's not down there with the Hellbat. You at least make Reapers in all the matchups, okay? Next time you see a Reaper made past the 4-minute mark, you let me know. It's not D. It can't be D because Hellbat is D. There's no way. It's at least C. It's at least C. I'll go as low as C. It's down there with the Infestor. Marauder. Also C. Maybe B. Okay, let's... You know what? I'm taking it back out. Marauder. Let's think. Marauder. Good versus Protoss. Good versus Zerg in some compositions, not all. If it's Ling Bane, you can use Marauders. Actually, Marauder pretty good in all versus. It's a solid unit. F tier and TBT though. Okay, so it's not an A then. I don't think we put it in A. I think we can put it in B. I think we can put it in B. Yeah, we can put it in B. Zombie Group laughs at people who make Marauders in TBT. Yeah, because aren't there like, it's literally only the mech units that have armored, and they wouldn't allow a Marauder to hit them. That's pretty funny. Worse in every way to a Marine unless it's fighting roaches or stalkers. Not true. Marauders lack the light tag, which makes them significantly better versus Banelings. Also, they do bonus damage to armored units, which makes them significantly better versus roaches and ultras. Marines turn into paper people when you put ultras on the map. Marauders, quite good. Also very good versus Stalker and Colossus. Exactly, Colossus tanking. Colossus deal bonus damage versus light, and Marauders are not light. So they're B. They're B. By the way, this food is very good. And that's why they're not S tier. Medevac. Medevac. A, S, A, S, S. Medevac gotta be S. It is, okay, we agree. It is minimum A or S. So it's one of the two. It doesn't belong anywhere below A. Could be S. They are good. It has to be S because Marines can't be S without it. But does that make Marines S? I think they are S. Let's see. Bio can play a totally different style because of them. It enables a complete composition, which is basically the go-to for Terran. I think S. I agree. I think it's S. It's yeah. I think your guys are right. Without Medevacs, literally Terran would not be able to do anything. Everyone would have to play. You literally wouldn't be able to play Bio. You have to play Mech. You make Medevacs in every single standard game, and you make a lot of them too. Marines are, yeah, exactly. So without Medevacs, Bio as a composition would probably not exist. Yeah, Bio wouldn't exist. You wouldn't be able to play it. There's no way. Like if you had no way to heal your Marines, yeah, it wouldn't happen. Okay, S tier. I agree. S tier. Mothership. Everybody memes about -400, -400. I think it's at least C tier. I don't think it's D. You think it's D? Everyone's saying D. I knew you guys would say D. I knew you guys would say D. It's not. I do not think it's D. I don't think it's D. Here's the reason why. Why do so many people make motherships then? Hard D? You're fucking crazy. You're crazy. You are crazy. No way, it's not D. It's not F. Does Mothership have any place in PvT or PvP? I think it's a hard C. It's a noob trap APOP. You're out of your mind. You're crazy. You know how many games I've lost to Motherships? Why do so many people make Hellbat attacks? True. You're not even memeing. It's not a noob trap though. It's not.
Oh man, hey Jerry, say that 10 times fast.
Anonymous, thank you for the follow. Okay, listen. Let me present my case. Let me present my case for the Mothership being C. I'm not arguing anywhere above C. You instantly win the game if you cannot kill it immediately. True. True. If you cannot yoink, or you do not have enough overseers, you win. There is no going back right now. You will win the game, because when you have the mothership, your army is probably good enough to warrant it. And if you can't yoink it, what about TVP or PvP? I'm not saying they're used in any of those, but I'm saying they at least are C. Is that true though? It's so slow, so if you see it coming, just run away while making stuff to kill it. They can also recall. That's like 2% of the time. Alright, we need to do a straw poll for this one then. We need to do a straw poll. And we're divided on this one. I want us to agree. I will create a poll. Mothership ranking. I'm just gonna put C and D on here, guys. Where is... Oh, it's a... Okay. Alright, go to the straw poll. Go to the straw poll. Vote. Tell me what you think. Okay, I'll link it over. Auto refresh. We're tied. We're tied. C is winning. Wow. Where's the option for low C? It's not. There's no low C. There's only C. It's C or it's D. Wow, we are split on this one, guys. I'll call it after I take this bite of this delicious snacky food. Wow, we are split as, dude. Roddy is disappointed in you guys. Okay. We're literally split 7 and 7. Alright. We'll go D. We'll go D. Send a representative forth? Maybe we should. Okay. Let's move on, because we still have a lot to do. Mutalisk. Mutalisk. I would say... my gut instinct says A. Muta is a B if there ever was one. Easy B. Not S, but A. I'm thinking it's A as well. It's not game-crushingly winning enough to be S, but it is so very, very good. It's so strong. It can force complete composition switches. In ZVZ, if you make mutas and your opponent doesn't immediately kill you, you now have to deal with it. It's one of the units that you have to deal with. You can't do anything about it. How often does it get used outside of TVZ? ZVZ, it's literally I play mutas every game. It's extremely good. Mutas are very good. You can also make them versus Protoss. It's a little less made today in this sort of day and age, but you can still definitely do it. They're used more now as a make one group of them, and then that's it. And then go get whatever, damage and effectiveness you can out of it. Because again, they often don't immediately win you the game. Like, they're not going to deal critical damage to their army unless it's a full ground army or something like that. So yeah, I'm gonna go A. I think I agree, it's A. Oracle. Oracle. I'm between B and A. I'm between B and A. I think it's one of the two. How many games have you lost making mutas when the opponent just walks up and kills you immediately? Lots. Plenty. B. I'm between A and B. Let's think about the Oracle. It's not made as often in this day and age, favoring more so in this meta the Void Ray. But you can still, you will still see Oracles made maybe after a Void Ray. Revelation is good, Stasis is good, it has utility, all of its abilities are good. And it's made in every matchup. It will kill, it kills SCVs, it can kill drones, and it can kill probes. Yeah, you never want to make more than 1 or 2, but you want it to live the entire game. Yes. The longer it lives, the more effective it can be. But it, in and of itself, cannot necessarily win you the game, unless you're very lucky. I don't think it's A. I don't think it's as good as Mutalisks. See, now that we have units in each one, you can start comparing. I don't think Oracles are as good as Mutas are. I think Mutas are much better. I think they're more so in the... I think if there was a between B and A, it could go there. But I think it's B. I think it's B for that reason, guys. I think it's B. Because they're not as good as Mutas. There's no way. Overlord. Very good at scouting. But you should build Oracles in almost every game. That's true. That's true. They're very good. There are strong arguments for A. I will say that. Oracle. Pretty much the only scouting unit that Zerg makes, besides an Overseer.
Hey, and a friend of this guy is
Yo, what's up,
friend of
Vibe?
John Gobblecott of Necro Gobblecott.
Thank you so much for that raid, bro. We're doing our StarCraft 2 tier list. Thank you so much for that raid, buddy. Appreciate that a lot. Hope you had fun, man. I had such a blast casting your guys' games. But feel free to join us, guys. We've got a few down here so far. We just did Oracle. We put Oracle in B. I don't think it's an A. I would love to see what you guys think about what we've got going on so far. If you guys have any input, definitely let us know. We're on Overlord. We're on Overlord now. We're trying to decide. Overlord is tough. It's free scouting. It's free information. But that information comes at the risk of potentially losing supply.
Oh, there's Twitch
However,
channel. Twitch
I would
channel.
argue to say
Oh, man. Hey, Jerry,
that
say
if
to Ted
Terran
Ted.
could lift and fly supply depots out on the map, they probably would. Can
Don't
drop
be
creep.
cheap. Spend your
Oh, man.
money.
Sorry, I don't have alerts
Yo,
up
bud
right now.
tried to bribe me, drive me to the brink of this hate inside me, just so I'd resubscribe and make myself hate me.
Thank you for the $1. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. They have a lot of utility. So I think they're A. They're A or B. Once again, they're A or B. You have to make them. So you will have them. And there is a lot of types of strategies that they enable. You can Nidus Worm with them, like scout the area for the Nidus Worm. You can delay expansions. They can become a utility. There is Overseer on the list, by the way, just so you guys do know. These are these including Overseers or just Overlords? I guess just Overlords. We have to consider them separately because there is Overseer. In that case, I would go B. I'm gonna go B. I'm gonna go B. It is a part of their identity as a race, Asher. That is true. They are quite good. But I think B is where they belong. Alright. We'll move to the next one. Baneling. What do we think for Baneling? Here come all the S's. Here comes everyone just gonna spam S. I already know it. I'm gonna take a bite. Here's all the S's. B for Bomba. No way it's B. You're smoking something. Ah. I have some tacos here that I'm eating, guys, and they're getting a little hard to cut. S until nerf. Now A. It's S. 100%. 100% it's S. Here's the reason why. You eat tacos with a fork and knife? Only when I'm like typing and moving stuff. Yeah. And it's not really a taco. It's just like a... It's like a pressed fried one. It's an S. Here's why it's S. It is the only... It's the only supply-free upgrade that you can do to increase your army's value for just money. Only money. You can take your army, if you're 200 out of 200 maxed out, you can make a lot of your Zerglings into Banelings. And it will significantly ramp up the power level of your army while only costing you money. So I feel that that, coupled along with just how effective, how good they are, and how versatile as well. You can do Baneling drops, you can do Baneling run-bys, you can do Baneling burrow mine shenanigans if you want to. They're very, very good to morph in high numbers even. They're a very good gas spender. Potentially. They're good against walls. Yeah. They're very good against buildings. I think they're one of the quintessential Zerg units in this day and age. I think they're S. I think they're S. I'm going to leave them in S. S tier. Most supply efficient unit. 100%. Yeah, absolutely. They're S. They're S for sure. Dark Templar. Dark Templar. What do we actually think Dark Templar are? What do we think Dark Templar? C, S, A, B, B, A, B, A. Easy A, B, A, B. Okay. I think besides the first couple of memes, we've landed on A or B. It's B. They're B. They have a rush that they can do, and you could potentially just lose the game to it. However, if you are prepared for it, they are like literally it just requires vision. If you do that, you hold it. Pretty much with almost any amount of unit, like small numbers of roaches or decent numbers of lings, few queens, you know, stuff like that. There are a few units that can win a game single-handedly. They suck. Yeah, basically they're a coin flip in that regard. However, their power level kind of reaches another spike once it's like past 15 minutes. Because once it's past 15 minutes, there are many bases like all around, and they become an extremely strong harassment unit. So for that reason, I think they're B. I think they're B. They are quite good. They're a bit of a meme in a way. But yeah, they're B. Okay. Phoenix. Phoenix. What do we think Phoenix are? Phoenix should be A. They're not popular, but they are great units. Are they? Are they? A, B, A, B. Okay. We're getting a lot of A's, lots of B's, couple was S tier. Most fun to micro units in the game. B or C? Phoenix, I think, is gonna be A. I think it's A tier. Are they though? They're like a better Oracle, but even more so because they have a lot of utility beyond with an army. I want to say A because they fit a similar niche that mutas do. But you see them, here's the thing, you see them so infrequently. Is that just because Void Rays are a little easier to use? And they have the also added ability to hit the ground? That doesn't mean that Phoenix is bad in and of itself, though. Yeah, they're very good in air fights, and they still have a lot of utility in ground fights, and picking up units is pretty crazy. Yeah, in the right hands, we're doing Phoenix and A. We're doing Phoenix and A. Phoenixes are great in PvT also. Yep. Phoenixes and A. They're quite good. Okay. The Ghost. The Ghost. Ghost is S? I was literally about to drop this guy in C. S? S? You guys are crazy. You guys are crazy. You guys are insane. What do you mean they're S? Snipes high priority targets, nukes base, EMP. Okay. In TVP, they're goated. Okay. Let's go like this. Are they used in TVT? Terran versus Terran, do you make ghosts? Is there a spot for them in TVT? No. Okay. They can't be S then. Let's think about the abilities. Yeah, they're by far S tier in TVP. 100%. 100% TVP, not arguing that at all. They're absolutely necessary in late game TVC. They are. If the Zerg player gets to lurkers or to ultras, yes. We're saying Disruptor is S tier, but the Ghost isn't. I'm just making a case for my point, that's all. I'm between A and S. I'm between those two. I see way fucking more Disruptors than I see Ghosts. I see Disruptors all the time. I never see Ghosts. Here's the thing, though. Here's the thing, though. Think about this, guys. Think about this. Think about this. You only really ever make ghosts as a response to something. You only make ghosts to respond to something. Or if you want to start nuking. But I fucking see 0 Terrans ever start actually nuking. Like, the game's got to be like 20 plus minutes. No, I cannot tell you the last time somebody tried to nuke me. You can open with ghosts. You're right. You can lose with ghosts. You're absolutely right, Skynet. You can absolutely just lose the game with ghosts if you want. Ghost drop opener is not a real thing. I won't consider it. I know that Ruff is a huge fan of it. He likes to play it. That's cool. It is. Some people can make it work, but in general, it is not like an opener for people, guys. I'm not calling the opener bad. I'm just calling the opener bad. Okay? If that makes sense. I wouldn't recommend every Terran to try to do that build. You have to understand the game a lot more than you think to make ghosts like that. Ghost Hellbat is hella strong? No, it's not. No, it's not. You have to understand what the fuck you're doing in order for that to work, though. Do you think they should be in the same spot as Infestor? They're just as hard to use. I am going to disagree on just as... The EMP, yes. The Snipe, no. The Snipe, it is not. They're definitely not C. They're not C. Ghosts are much better than Infestors. EMP is about the same as fungal. I think it's instant though. I don't think there's anything to travel. Yeah, it's instant like storm. Yeah. I'm between B and A. I don't think they're S. I don't think they're S, guys. It's useless in TBT. Yeah, you really can't make them in T. Let's go A. We'll go A. I think that'll quell the masses. No, we're going A. We're going A. It's not S. You can't be an S tier unit and not be used in literally any TBT. You can't. Hydralisk. C. None of you can fucking tell me anything else. They're C. That's where they're going. Okay. They're C, maybe even D. Hydras suck. They suck so bad. They're not B, chicken man. They're not B. They're not B. They're insane. They're not that good. They're really bad, actually. I cannot think of a time when I would just make Hydras versus something. There's no lurkers without Hydras, but if we're judging each unit as it is, like the fact that it can turn into another unit should not make it a C tier, or should not make it a higher grade. Literally part of the best composition in the game, but they still are terrible. That's the thing. You know that the Hydra part of the Hydra Lurker Viper is the weakest part and is actually only there to kill one specific unit. They suck, bro. They suck so bad. And because you can make lurkers after. That's it. Are we looking at it solo or in a comp? We're trying to value all aspects of it. As on its own, in composition, is it used in other matchups? They're obligatory shoots up unit. That's literally what they do. Unfortunately. I want to love Hydras, but they are bad. They do not murder carrier. Well, okay. If it was only carriers, sure. But if there's actually literally anything else in that army, Hydras are garbage. Hydra is better than Reaper or Infestor for sure. I don't think so. I don't think so. They are. You want to know why we make Hydras? I'm gonna ask yourself this. Ask yourself this. Why do you make Hydras? Why would you make a Hydra? Because fucking Tots make Void Rays. Because you have no choice. Hatterwog has nailed it. We have no choice but to make Hydras or Aspire, which drastically changes up the way that your army composition works. I told you. We have no other choice. That's why we make Hydras. There's no other unit that we can make that is decent off of creep. Queens, though, S tier, and we'll get to Queens soon. Yeah, they're just too slow. Plus, their upgrades are split into 2 different upgrades. It's just it's a mess. It's a mess. Okay, Probe. Probe S, Queen S, next. Probe. Easy S? I don't know about that. A or S? They're better than SCVs. I think they win a straight up fight. Probe is the worst worker, so A. Is it though? Isn't SCV the worst worker? They do have 5 extra HP, but at the same time they can regen shields and you can micro the probe. Probe is the only worker that can guarantee win every worker fight with micro. Plus, they can block your hatchery quite easily. Probe can drop a building, then do something instantly. Probe can regen, it can build and walk away, but it's a Protoss unit, so A. I'm thinking A. I think they're A. Cannon rushes proxies annoying a mineral line. Well, anything can annoy a mineral line. So let's take that off the list. Anything can annoy a mineral line. Anything can proxy. Anything can block a base. And anything could kill a building SCV. So that is not probe specific. That is just what they're used for in this current day and age. Drone is the worst. Yeah, but nobody does except probes. Right, but that doesn't... That's only current meta. That's only current meta. With like, well, the way that they're the best at it, they're not the best. They're the same as everyone else. If Zerg and Terran did both of those things, they would do exactly what probes did. They would harass mineral lines. The fact that SCV... Here's what I don't get. Here's what I don't get. The fact that SCVs do not harass mineral lines when they scout you, I don't get that. Why not? It's like the same shit. Why don't you just harass a mineral line? Listen, I don't want you to. Because I hate it. I hate dealing with it. But why don't you? Like, why don't Terrans do it? I'm getting a little off track here, but I've always thought that. Like, why don't they just do it? Terran's more honorable. Because SCVs doesn't regenerate. That's actually probably the best answer I've gotten. It's S. You can block mineral lines with a well-timed pylon. S tier probe. I'm thinking A, guys. All right, you know what? We did this last time. We'll do it again. We're gonna make another straw poll. Another straw poll. Probe tier ranking. I'm gonna put them all in here. S, A, B, C, D. All right, guys. Straw poll is up. Tell me what you think. Tell me what you think, and let's figure it out. Woo! It's a lot of S's already. Thank you, chat. Okay, 19 votes in. When I'm done eating this bite, I'll call the poll. We'll do. All right, S tier. I don't know either. I think it's A tier. Potentially even arguably B tier. But chat has decided. It's apparently S. Such is life. Queen, S. You can't... Yeah, they're too good. They're too good. Best unit potentially in the entire game would be my opinion. Yeah, there's no arguments. There's really not. Nobody can say, you know what? I think it's A. Here's why. Yeah, that's it. What was the reasoning for a drone in S tier? It regenerates really slow, has less HP than a SCV. It's the only worker you completely lose when building a building. So, the reason why I put drone in S is because number one, it wins every worker fight with no micro. So, if fights anything, the opponent has to actively focus on that unit in order for it to not just die. Number two, it's the only unit that can temporarily shift itself out of existence to survive being attacked. It's the only unit that will regenerate all of its HP back to full if you give it time. On its own, without any minerals needing to be spent or time spent by another unit. Yes, it does suck that they have to be sacrificed to make buildings, but I would argue that is not a shortcoming of the drone, more so as it's a shortcoming of Zerg buildings. One probe can build infinity cannons. That's true. Okay, Banshee. We still have a lot to go through, so let's keep moving. Banshee. Fair enough. Banshee. We got B, we got C, we got D, we've got C, B or C, B for Banshee, C, B, C, C, C. I'm gonna go with, I agree, guys. I think it's a lot. I see a lot of B's and C's. It's C. Banshee is C tier. Yeah, Banshee is C tier. It's just so niche. It's very, very easily countered. Yes, it can provide quite a lot of harass, and it can be a bit of an annoyance on the field, but I would say almost any other air unit is probably better than it. It's like a bad Oracle. It's not that... Here's another reason. It's not close to how good Oracles are, so it's C. If Oracles are B, Banshee is a C. That's how we can do that one. Observer. Observer. It's an Oracle without spells. That's, yeah, basically. Observer. S-A? S plus? Super freaking good? A? C plus. I was thinking more C plus. Obs is A. You'd erase Observer from the game. Wow. Map hacks are S tier. B, invisible but cost supply. Overlords are nearly as good for zero supply and no gas. It's like Hydra, no other decent choice. True. Yeah, Protoss has zero other scouting available to it, so they have to make it regardless of how good it is. Like, they have no other way to get information. Except hallucination scouts and them actually running in units. Do you have to Haluk Phoenixes and Oracles? You can. Alright. It kind of was all over the place here. I see a lot of C's, B's, A's, S. Let's go. Let's straw poll it. Let's straw poll it. Because I just don't know. I don't know where to put Observer. I'm actually not 100%. S, A, B, C, D. Who decided that S was on the top? I don't get that. Why is S above A? Search your feelings, A-Pop. Yeah, I mean, they're very good. They're invisible. They're quite good at the purpose their unit, you know, at the purpose that they're made for. So at least they're good at that. So let's see. Let's see. I would probably vote A. I would probably vote A. Divided. It's divided. A lot of B's. Their initial slowness is their biggest weakest. Sure. Sure. I can see B tier. It cannot be A. After reviewing, I would agree it's in B. It is better than the Overlord, but it is not on the same par as our A rank. It's not on the same level as A. If they were like hella fast or something, sure. Yeah. True. Okay. Broodlord. It's gotta be C or D. It actually might be D, which makes me so upset, but I think it's D. I think it's actually D. God, that sucks so bad. Ravager. Ravagers. A? I think Ravagers are S. I actually think Ravager is S. Ravagers are used every single game, every single matchup, and beyond that, they're good in every matchup. Bile, as an ability, is crazy good. It's god tier. I disagree. I think Ravager is god tier. They're so good. Terrible against some comps, though. Like what? What composition is Ravager bad at? Sure, they're not maybe 100% useful at all points of the game, but neither is Baneling. Don't they suck in the late game? Bile hits so rarely. Depends on what you're trying to hit. Bile is fucking busted. Busted good. Disruptor Colossus? Okay. Okay. However, I will point out, you still make Roach Ravager versus Stalker Colossus. Ghosts? I mean... They're S tier, dude. Bile is crazy. Bile will literally just outright win you a game. Bile gives you the ability to kill air units. You know how many Void Rays I've killed with Biles? You know how many battle cruisers I've killed with Biles? It is the king of the role that it fits. It is one of the best siege units, period. It is one of the best units, like, siege units in the game, without question. I'm definitely right. I know it's S. It's S. It will counter Liberators. It will counter Siege Tanks. It counters Marauders. It counters Buildings. Ravagers are crazy value. Crazy good. If you think Ravager is less than S, you need to make Infestors work. Ravagers are so good, guys. It's S. I'm gonna streamer veto. It's S. They counter mines. They're good versus Protoss. Any ground unit composition of Protoss, Ravager is very good at. Except for, like, Disruptor. Except for, like, Disruptor. Yo, what's up, Steadfast? Thank you for the raid, buddy. Appreciate that a lot. Getting lots of raids today. I know. Very, very kind of a lot of people. We're doing a StarCraft 2 unit tier list. If you're just joining us tonight. We have just placed Ravager into its throne on the S tier. A lot of people trying to say A. I know better. I know better. Ravager is S. For sure. Howdy. Howdy. It's S. It's for sure S. Yo, why isn't Broodlord in tier lower than the bottom? Just don't even put it up there. Just put it down, like, just try to drag it off the screen. I know, right? Oh. There we go. Good call. Good call. Good call. Okay, Ravager S. Moving on. Warp Prism. Warp Prism. You guys think Mothership should be in Broodlord tier? You think Mothership is in Broodlord tier? Warp Prism. S-A-S-S-A. Warp Prism S. Pickup range is bonkers. It can go fast. I agree. Warp Prism is S. Yeah. Warp Prism is S for sure. It is the king of harassment. Just can flat out win you games. Instantaneous reinforce, which no other race in the game can do. It's crazy. High micro strategies, yes, agree. All right, I think we're all just fine with Warp Prism and S. Raven. B? I don't think it's a B. It's C. It's C. Raven is C tier. Again, ask yourself, when do you see Ravens? It's like the Oracle. It's a worse Oracle. It is a much worse Oracle. I agree with Samo. Raven, 100% C tier unit. TVT? Ravens are A in TVT and TVP. Okay, well, okay, what do they do in TVP? Why are they so good in TVP? What the hell do they do? Don't sleep on the Raven. Anti-armor. If Raven is C, then Banshee is D. Oh, Interference Matrix. Okay, you're right. You're right. You're right. I know when I'm wrong. I completely forgot that would... Yeah, we'll go B. They're B. They're B. Okay. Okay. They're B. Okay. They even still have some utility in TVZ. Because they can clear creep. I forgot about Interference Matrix. This next one's gonna hurt me, though. Swarm Host. Swarm Host, guys. What is Swarm Host? B? You guys are high. Oh, you're so crazy. Anyone who says above even C, I think is nuts. Is high. Is high. It is D. Swarm Hosts are D. And it sucks because I love them so much, but it's true. Swarm Hosts are D. Yeah, ditto D and move Mothership down. It's pretty good in mech. That's not even universally true, the Paterwalk, because it's only good versus a specific type of mech. It's only good versus a specific type of mech. It's not good versus battle mech. It has to be slow mech. Swarm Host is D. It's D. It's unfortunate. And people want me to move Mothership down to Broodlord tier. Alright. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. Chat veto, it's C. It's certainly not C. It is not C. Oh, fucking 200. You're not gonna try to tell me that the Swarm Host is as useful as an Infestor. You're crazy. You are crazy. Okay? You're insane if you're trying to tell me Swarm Hosts are as good as Banshees, Hydras, Reapers, and Infestors. You all are high or drunk. You're fucking nuts. It's D. It's D. I can confirm. I have a game from not 1 hour ago where I can assure you Swarm Host did not work against mech. It's D. It's D. I'm telling you, it's D. Are you telling me Reapers are as useful as Infestors? Yes, that's what we're trying to do. Why is Hydra C? Hydra is B. It's not B. Hydra is C. They suck. We only think that they're B because we have to make them. That's it. That's the only reason. Hydra is garbage. I was tempted to put it into D, but I didn't want to. I wanted to avoid like a riot, so I put it in C. Okay, Swarm Host is D. It is almost arguably deserves to be in Broodlord tier. Free lurkers are pretty good. I mean, you're better than me, Steadfast, but I just, man, I think hydras suck, bro. I just feel like they're so fucking trash. I just feel like they're again, they're only made either to get to lurkers or because you didn't take Aspire. And Lingbane Hydra, you're more comfortable Lingbane Hydra than versus Mutas. Oh, okay. Pre-lurkers, got it. Alright, yes. Haha. I think Swarmhost is so bad. Can we make an argument to put Swarmhost in Broodlord tier? They are so, even versus mech people, they're a flight risk. You know what I mean? Swarmhosts are a risk to make. It's better than Broodlord? Okay. Alright. Fair. Alright. They are better than Broodlords. Which is just... It makes me so upset that that's the case. They do have more utility than Broodlords. You're right. You guys are right. You guys are right. You think Swarmhost is best than Terran versus Protoss? Okay. Battle Cruiser. Battle Cruiser. What are we thinking for Battle Cruiser, guys? S? No. It's not S. Yeah. Woo! This one is all over the place. Okay. They're not S. I'll tell you that right now. I'm taking that one off the table. Okay. That is off the table. Are they as good? Are battle cruisers as good as Hellions? Are they as good as Hellions? Are you trying to tell me battle cruisers are as good as Hellions? Not a chance. Yeah, there's fucking no way. So they're not B. Okay, so there's B and above, gone. They're C or D. Are they as good as Banshees? You're telling me an OV is better than a battle cruiser? Fuck yeah, I am. Overlords are good. Overlords are good. They're better than Hellbats, and they're better than Swarmhost. Okay, there we go. We'll go C. I think that's good. I think, yeah. I think that battle cruiser is C tier. They're not as bad as Hellbats or Swarmhosts. But yeah, they're C. They're definitely C. Okay. Okay. I think we're agreed that it's C. All right, Overseer. These tier lists enrage me. Fair enough, Todd. Overseer, guys. S, B, A plus or S? A, Overseer, same as Observer. I think it's better than Observer, though. It is statically... The only reason why it's not objectively better is because Observers are invisible. I think they're A. They have range increase. They have changelings, which is crazy. And they can also halt the production of any facility. So they have 3 abilities, bro. They're A. I think so too, chat. They're A. They're A. Changelings are actually insane. Yeah. They're A. Yep. Okay. Cyclones. 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 What do we think about Cyclones, guys? B, C, A. C for Cyclone. B. At least B. Cyclones are C. A. Cyclones are B at least? You think they could potentially be higher than C? Or B, rather? Made out of paper, requires good micro. I don't know about the good micro part. They require attention. They don't require you to do all that much. Walk in, walk on. I mean, of course a Zerg player would be saying that, right? But all you do with your cyclones, you walk in and then you leave.
Oh, there's Twitch Twitch channel. Oh man, hey Jerry, say that 10 times fast.
Thank you, Todd, for the follow. Okay. Here's the thing. Cyclones are amazing. Cyclones are quite good. Until they're absolutely trash. If that makes sense. Cyclones are amazing until a single thing happens to them, and then they're suddenly awful. They're just suddenly god tier. Or sorry, suddenly just like dog shit
there's
tier.
Twitch channel.
Yeah,
Twitch
fungal,
channel.
dead.
Oh,
Suddenly
man.
surrounded,
Hey, Jerry, say
dead.
that 10 times fast.
But if that never happens, they're really good. Disruptor, dead. Yeah, pretty much like once it gets to a specific like type of unit, or you're caught off guard with it, they're just dead. Cyclone is one of the best worst units. It deserves a C. That might be the best way to describe it. They are indeed one of the best worst units in the game. Against Proxy Void, they're a necessity. Early game TBT, they're incredibly useful. They defend Proxy Voids well. Yes, they do. Yo, Alistair. Thank you so much for the follow. Let's think. Okay, let's think. Good in TBZ. Good in TBZ. Entire army composition enabled because of the Cyclone. This is a tough one. I think it's between B and C. Is it as good? Okay, you know what? I think this is it. Are they as good as Hellions? Are Cyclones as good as Hellions? I think Hellions are our trademark B tier unit. Are you gonna look me in the face and you're gonna say Cyclones are as good as Hellions are? No, but Hellions should be A. Hellion top tier B, Hellion or This is tough, man. Okay. Alright, we'll do straw poll again. We'll do a straw poll again. Cyclone. We'll go between A, B, and C. I'll put those ones in. I don't think they're D. I don't think they're S. Can you make a B plus and B minus tier now? Let's see where the poll's at. Depending on how this poll goes. Maybe. Cyclone for sure A. We'll go vote. I think they're C. I think they're actually C. That's probably just some bias there, but I think they're C. Because Cyclone starts with the letter C. Ooh, it is neck and neck. C is just barely winning out. Okay, I have an idea. Hold on. I redid the poll. I want to see if it's closer now. I want to see if the people that put it in C would rather have it in B minus. I think I'd do B minus. Okay. Okay. I think this is clearly shown. It's pulled a few people from C to B minus. All right. We got to get more technical, guys. There were not enough options. By the way, not drinking. This is not alcoholic, even though it looks like a beer can. Guys, this is some crisp canned water. This is actually just straight up water. Okay. I finished my food, which is nice because I was hungry. Water in a can? Yeah. All right. So it looks like B minus is winning out. Why canned water? It is a very cool type of concept. It's from a brand called Liquid Death. Just water, not even carbonated. This one is not carbonated. They do have carbonated water though as well. But it's called Liquid Death because it murders your thirst. I like it. It's pretty good. Okay. It sounds like we have to make a B minus. And you would drink something called Liquid Death? I worry about you, streamer. Yeah. Alright. Cyclone B minus. That means we have to redo these. Alright, which one of these belongs in B minus tier? Yeah, which one of these belongs in B minus tier? I think maybe Marauder does. Overlord, Marauder, Immortal belongs in A. Immortal, Raven down. To not make it convoluted, you could order the units from left to right as strong to weakest. That's not a bad idea to Thompson. But we've already made a B minus. But if we ever get to the point where we're trying to make more, this is the most I want to have here because it fits nicely on one screen. Raven and Observer. Okay. Observer for sure. I do think Observer is B minus. I could see Raven as B minus. Like, extremely good in very specific situations. Alright, Steadfast. Take care, man. Have a good night. Thank you again for the raid, buddy. People are saying Immortal A tier. Do we want Immortal in A tier? Is Immortal really an A tier? You think Immortal is B plus? I do think it's B plus. I do think it's B plus. Backbone of the Protoss of the ground Protoss. Immortal's fuck. That's funny. Alright. Alright. We're gonna move on. We got the B plus and the B minus tier sorted out. Let's move on. Hold on, I gotta check something on Discord. Okay. Alright. Adept. We have too many Zerg players in the chat that actually think Immortals are good. Yeah, we do. Adept. Yeah. B minus A. What do we think, guys? Good harass in all three matchups. It's a better Reaper, so it's at least higher than C. It is a statically better Reaper, guys. It is better than the Reaper. Adepts are fine, B minus. Very good scouting, but I think better than the Reaper. Adepts are A, B solid. We have B plus and B minus. Such good harass. They're not that good. So long as you make the first 4 lings for Zerg, you're fine. Shade is almost a broken mechanic in StarCraft. Adept is the most average unit in the game. 2 adepts in PvP are good. Glaive builds are good. They drop off real quick. Rarely see them impact PvT. If Dark Templar is B+, you have to say B+. You think Dark Templar and Adepts are the same tier? The actual unit is bad. So it looks like we're between B+, B-. Both B-. Glaives are hipster in PvT, but still useful. Shade is one of the only things that requires a response without a commitment. Are they any less relevant than Phoenixes? I'm gonna say B-. I'm gonna say Adept is B-. I think that's fair. I think that's fair. B-. B-. They're a solid unit. They're good at what they do for when they do it. And there is occasional builds that can involve quite a number of adepts. Okay. Colossus. The Colossus. The giraffe. I think there's C. I think it's C. C for Colossus. B+? A? Oh no. Okay, let me think. I'm thinking to focus on Zerg here. Okay, hold on. Let me think. PvT, Colossus. Used versus Terran Bio. Shut down by Ravens, and I think it's supposed to be Vikings, right? One spell completely makes it just garbage. They're not even that good versus Terran. Seems like not really, because of the fact that the Raven exists. Not C, though, surely. Well, let's think about it. PvP, Colossus? Do they make Colossus in PvP? It's used a fair amount, a solid A in PvT. Okay, I could take that. Not used at all in PvP. Colossus is C, not powerful enough. Versus Zerg. A fine unit versus Zerg, but gets hit by air units and can't be attacked by air-only units. PvC B-, PvP really say them C. So against an average of that, I would say it's a B-. I would say then it's a B- from Chicken Man's perspective. It's a B- or a C. It's a B- or a C. It's great when it's great. How great is it though if you knew for sure your opponent was going to make Colossus? They're worse than Ravens or Adepts. Yeah, that's something we can look at too. Are they as good as Cyclones, Ravens, Observers, and Adepts? Are they as good as Cyclones, Ravens, Observers, and Adepts? You're happy to see them in the same category as Hydra? That's kind of where I'm inclined to put them. Yeah, for sure. B- or C. Not even as good as a BC. I think they're better than Infestors, though. I'm gonna put C. I'm gonna go B-. I'm gonna go B-. I went B-. Now I'm going B-. C is perfect. You guys think C now? Have we talked ourselves into a tier lower? Consistent damage output. But they're just so easily countered. By Vipers, by Corruptors, by Ravens. They're just like instantly, they can be instantly just removed. They're just like, fuck, that's it. B+, I think they're definitely not above a B-. I don't think they're a B+. Let's go, I think I do want to go C. I don't think they're that good. Why is Infestor in C? Because it's rare to see them. There's a whole lot of reasons why Infestor was in C. Colossus Force is a counter, but it doesn't force like an entire composition swap. All you gotta do is make like 5 Corruptors, and it's done. You don't even have to change the style you're playing. You can just make Corruptors, and then it's like, okay. I guess that's that. Okay. I mean, it is meaningful, but Battle Cruisers force a counter. You have to have a counter to BCs. Same with Banshees. You have to have something to deal with those things. Terrain walking would make more of a big deal. It makes almost no deal. Like, it almost matters not at all. They shred the main units of both races. Yeah, but so do, like, Banelings. So do Banelings, and Banelings are S. Okay, there's C. C for Colossus. Final answer. Let's move forward. Liberator. Liberator. What do we think for Liberator?
Oh, there's Twitch channel. Twitch channel.
A. S.
Oh, man. Hey, Jerry, say that.
Isonki, thank you for the follow. B. B plus. B. There's no B. You have to do B plus or B minus. B plus, A minus, B minus, B minus, B plus. Arguably, S maps have to be designed around it. Yeah. I wouldn't go S. There's no way that they're S. I could see an argument for A, and I could see an argument for B plus. Anyone who says higher than B plus is still mad from the last time they got harassed by them. They're good. Okay, they're very good at harass. Very good for defense. Can counter specific units such as lurkers and siege tanks, and they're quite good versus Protoss. Liberator is A because good air defense and harassment unit. S tier late game PvT. Yeah. I'm inclined to B plus. Not okay. Let's think about the matchups, right? PvZ, not that big of a deal. Really, not that big of a deal. Not as big of a. Surely, yeah, you have someone that's like a micro god, and we'll move them around, never lose it. But most of the time, Liberator, send it in, try to make something happen. You just walk your drones away, and nothing happens, and then they move, and that's it. So really, not that big of a deal. PvP, or sorry, TVP rather. Used, I think, pretty often. No? Don't Terrans use Liberators versus Protoss pretty often? For like the exact same reason. They're good, but if you make more than like 7, it's a mistake. Only for late game or tank pushes. And use and harass. Okay. What about TVT? It seems like they're used quite often in TVT, yeah? Late game sometimes, but carrier switches are in right now. Yeah. Situational TVT, it's amazing if you get them exactly the right time. I think because of that, it's a B plus. I think it's a B plus. It's not A. A tier units are good every single game, but they're not broken good. S tier is broken good. A tier is this is a really good unit. This is a really good unit. B plus, this is a good unit most times. B minus, this is a good unit sometimes. C tier, it's okay. D tier, it sucks. Broodlord tier, don't even make this unit. Don't even make it. We're gonna go B plus on lid. We're gonna go B plus on lid. B plus. I think that's fair. I think that's fair. Okay. Marine. 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 Oh boy. Easy S. Yeah, I think this is a no-brainer. It's definitely S. Yeah, it's actually quintessential S tier unit. It's the best scaling unit in the game. Yeah, it's 100%, unquestionably yes. Yep. It is the quintessential S tier unit for sure. Okay. I think, yeah, that's basically, yeah. Marine and Queen tier, yeah. Scales like a motherfucker. A Marine on its own is so bad, but just the amount of scaling that it gets and how good it is in the game is crazy. Carrier. Marine and Queen are in a tier on its own. I could see that. B, A, C, A, B, S for Sky Toss. A. I think it's a solid A tier unit. The reason why I think Carrier is an A tier unit. Once you have 8, it's an A. Carriers are only as good as their support units. Okay, let's think. Let's think about it. Carrier is definitely not C. 1 carrier is D. 2 carriers is C. 3 carriers is B minus. They just move up a rank for each carrier you have. Okay. They're definitely not D. But I think we can get that out of the way. They're definitely not C. They're not as good as Hydras. There's no way. Are they a B minus? I don't think so. I think that I think it's either B plus or A. 1 carrier is D for sure. Yeah, this is on its own, it's terrible. It's like having a single pair of Zerglings. 10 times better than 1 carrier. Yeah. I think it's an A tier unit. It's solid all around, seen, I believe, and well, okay, hold on. Question. Are carriers made versus Terran? Are carriers made versus Terran? Bad versus Terran. No. Only late game. Nah, Marines destroy them. Get wrecked by Marines. Sometimes, yes. Sometimes, yes. A tier was so far reserved for units that are good in every single matchup, but not brokenly good. Carriers are good versus Terran, but it's hard to get there. Okay, fair. Are they good versus Protoss? Carriers in PvP. Oh yeah? PvP? Yes. Obviously PvZ they are. Absolutely. Are they so good versus Zerg and versus Protoss that it bumps their Terran up a little bit? It like makes up for Terran. Stalkers are pretty good too though. Yeah. I think it's A. I think it's A, just from the sheer difficulty of being how difficult it is to deal with. I think they're A. I could see the argument for A. I think they're A. Okay, SCV. What do we think SCVs are, guys? What are we thinking for SCV? B. Why are we rating a worker? Because it's a unit that you can make. B, I guess? Takes longer to build. Repair. SCV. Maybe B+. C. Crap unit, to be honest. Better than drones, worse than probes. They're worse than drones, I think. Good old boy in a mech. B, because they have the best lines. Better than drones? I don't think they're better than drones. Drones are people sleep on drones. Drones are very good. You think probe needs a higher tier? B. Repair is amazing. 5 HP makes mines useless. In rear with the gear, dude. Drones are one-shot wonders. B+. Let me think about what they can do. They can repair. Terran can lose them and still win. You don't really you don't think drones are S? Without workers, there is no win. Yeah, of course. But we're trying to compare, like, the workers to each other. Terran has to spend a long time building something. But you do get to keep the worker after it's done. And, SCV pulls best worker pull for an all-in. That's true. Really good versus 2 adepts and 2 oracles when compared with probes and drones. You think probe better than drone, better than SCV? SAB+. SCV pretty bad compared to drones and obviously probes. I think they're worse than... yeah, I think SCV's gotta be... Drones are A, SCVs are B+. Alright. Alright. We'll amend it. I think that's fair. Probe in your base is terrifying. That's also true. The simple act of a probe walking into your natural, in your main, can elicit fear. No other worker does that. Because you think, where did that fucker come from? What did he do on the way here? A probe walking behind your natural mineral line is there's like so much to that simple motion there that just like flares up your anxiety. You're like, God damn it, is it one of these games? Okay. Corruptor. Corruptor. C for Corruptor? No. No, it's not C. There's no. It's not C. It's not C. B minus? What? Fundamental to beat Sky Toss. C because it's only a response unit. Pissing is underrated. I actually agree. I very agree on that, Hatterwog. Sky Roach gets the same grade as Roach -1. Have we done Roach yet? No, we haven't. 200 HP and 2 armor is pretty good. It can be made every single matchup. It can. It can. I think it's B+. I think Corruptors are B+. I would put them in A. Actually, I still might. Here's my reasoning, guys. Corruptors are arguably the best anti-air unit in the game, period. Corruptor and ZVZ is almost always a mistake. That's the one matchup where you see them less. But I think they are better than, like, you can make Corruptors versus Mutas is what I'm trying to say. Would be A, but Void Rays exists. Even when Voids are floating around? Yes. Yes. Just because you can make 100 of them doesn't make them good, though. No, I agree. But think about the units that they do counter. Think about this. Think about this. What does the Corruptor do? What is its purpose? Its purpose is it's an anti-air unit. Okay? So it's only used as an AA unit. There is some utility with them being able to turn into Broodlords. And that can be a win condition. It's super, super rare, though. Mutas, Phoenixes without range? Dude, Corruptors shit on all air units. Corruptors can win versus almost every single air unit. The only one that it has a somewhat hard time to win with is Void Rays. That's it. That's actually it. They dunk on carriers. They dunk on Phoenixes. They dunk on Tempests, Ravens, Banshees, Battle Cruisers, Mutalisk, Liberator. What other air units are there? Warp Prism, Medivacs, Vikings. Yeah. They literally will win every single one of those. Every single one of those fights. Then they mass Archons and kill you. Well, then you can go for the Brood. I think they're A. I do think they're A. They are the undisputed champions of the air. The fact that there are other units that have to walk around to counter them, sure. And Void Ray, I think, is the only unit in a straight-on like air versus air battle that they'll win. You think Phoenix beats Corruptor with Micro? Potentially. Void Rays and Vikings are more versatile, though. Disagrees? Well, yes, Void Ray, I agree. I do agree Void Ray more versatile. Viking, kind of. I think that the Caustic Spray from Corruptor is again, very underutilized. It's very good, guys. Caustic Spray from Corruptor, gee, it's fucking nuts. It's so good. You can, it's almost to what Void Rays do. You know when like 4 or 5 Void Rays walk in and delete your hatchery or whatever? Corruptors can almost kind of do that. I think they're A tier. Corruptors are A tier. Phoenix can kite against Corruptors for forever? Sure. But that means, I mean, the second they stop kiting, they're gonna get hit. It's so fucking annoying. Yeah, sure, but like, you have to move your Phoenix around for the rest of the game now. Like, I'm not even worried about Phoenixes with Corruptor. It's like, okay, yeah, sure. You know how much time you have to spend just literally maneuvering? Okay. Roaches. 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 Banelings S tier. Yes, they are. Yes, they are. Roaches. A, D. I love it. I love it. A. You think roaches are A. A tier. B plus. Where do roaches fit? B minus. S. Wow, we are getting all over. C. Roaches are the cyclones of Zerg. That's a big ask. They don't fit the same thing at all. Ground roach goes above sky roach. A. B plus. Roaches is S. As good as Hellions. Okay. Okay. Let's think. Roaches are the king of early game. Roaches are definitely the king of early game. Early to mid game, roaches are basically uncontested the best. With Ravager being an S tier. Straight up 1 GSL for Rogue. Yeah, roaches are good. Let's think. Countered by what? Like, here's the thing. Here's the thing. The things that counter roaches, you can just win by just having more roaches. Like, that's what's kind of crazy about roaches. It's just like, you can just make more. They're so cost efficient. That's what makes them so good. 75 minerals, 25 gas. Very cheap. Yeah, very cheap. You can max super fast on them. Yeah, crazy fast max out. Yeah. Void Ray meta kinda worsens them early. Potentially. Only for the simple fact that they cannot attack Void Rays. Could you imagine? Could you imagine if there was an upgrade to make roaches attack the air? My god. Whew. I don't even want to think about that. That would just be... Don't get Zerg banned. They'd be S if they could hit the air. They would. Alright, we're going A. Roaches are A tier. I agree. Roaches are A tier. It literally exists. Yeah, Ravagers kinda. But they don't attack the air. It's just a bomb. I think they're A. I think they're A. They're just so good. And they can be good for basically the entire game, depending on their composition. You can make them in every single matchup. They're a staple of ZVZ. They're a staple of ZVP. and they're very good in CBT. You don't have to make them, but they're extremely good. It's completely fine to go a roach-based composition. I do it all the time. All right, Sentry. Sentry. What do we think? Burrow roaches were so good, Cyril got them nerfed. That's true. Burrow too. I forgot about that. Sentries are C? Oh, are they though? B minus, B minus, B, B minus, B plus. Sentries C. Okay, let's think about them. Very good scouting. Hallucination, very good. Guardian Shield, also very good. Force Field, also good. Every one of their abilities, good. They have no damage to speak of. Can single-handedly stop you from losing the game from a cheese. Are they used in PvP? I think they are, right? I know they're used versus Terran. I know they're used versus Terran. Great in every matchup. Yeah, they're really good. I think they're B plus at least. If not A. I think they're honestly B plus, if not A. If Carrier is A, I feel like Sentry might be A. You never see them win games anymore? You don't watch enough of my games, I guess. Very poor scaling, though. Yeah, I agree. I don't think they're an A, actually. They're very poor scaled. They scale poorly. They don't transition to the late game very well. You only want a few, but the role they fulfill, no other unit in the game does. No other single unit changes the battlefield and the landscape as much as they do. They're pure utility. I almost want to go. I want to go B plus, guys. It's a great support unit. I think B plus. I'm gonna go B plus. I think they're up there. I think they're up there. They are good in late game. I think B plus is fair. I think B plus is fair. What tier is a hallucinated Archon at? Broodlord tier. Not as good as Immortals. We have to think about not necessarily one-for-one value, but what matchups it's used in. I would argue that you use Sentries more in StarCraft 2 than you do Immortals. You don't use Immortals versus everything. You don't use Immortals versus Bioterran. But Sentries you do. Oh, Luke Colossus is S tier. Alright, we're sticking with B plus. I could see the argument for an A. For A, though. I think they're quite good. Alright, Stalker. Stalker. What do we think Stalker is at? D for does not scale well. SSS. You think Sentry is good because you go roaches. Shut up. Shut up, you. A, you see them in every game. Stalker is B plus. At least A. S or A. B. PvT and PvP, they're used every damn game. They're used in PvZ a lot. They're used in PvZ a lot. They're a completely legitimate branch that Protoss can go versus Zerg. You think hard S? Stalkers are underrated in PvZ. I see Stalkers all the fucking time. I hate them. I hate having to deal with Stalkers. Blink is an incredible ability. But here's the thing. Are they as good as Muta? Or is Muta S? Why would or wouldn't they be S? Yeah, what keeps them from being S? Basically, the units not in S have something that's wrong with them. Like, something that keeps them from achieving just full greatness. Low DPS. The S units crush them. That's actually not a bad idea. Okay, A. We're gonna go A. We're gonna go A. What the fuck PvT games are you watching? Alright. You know what? We'll amend. We're gonna do another poll. We're gonna do another poll. Another poll. There you go. Vote. I think it's A. I think they're A. I think they're about the same effectiveness as roaches. Which we put roaches in A, so I'm gonna go stalkers in A as well. We put roaches in A, so we put stalkers in A. That's my thinking on the matter. I think that's fair. Ooh, we're getting lots of votes for B+, though. It's actually closer than I thought it would be. Stalkers are better than roaches, in your opinion? They're slightly better. Are they better? Doink Micro is so good. It is very good. But here's the thing. Are they as good as Ravagers? Are you telling me Stalkers are as good as Ravagers? Yes? Ooh, Chicken Man. He's going full hard on Stalkers. Not in a million years. I think you're being outvoted, Chicken Man. Have you watched top Protoss players? Yeah, no, I don't disagree with you that the Stalker Micro, the better the player, the better the Stalker is. I do not disagree with you. Chad is big dumb on this one, not gonna lie. I mean, it's close, man. It's close, man. It's close. I think it's A too, so you're calling me big dumb, mister. Watch out. They could be S. I could see the potential for S. It really depends on the player. They have the potential. B+ if you're not farting. With the right micro, they can achieve S. I think it's B though, man. If Muta is an A, I think Stalker is on the same curve as... You think Stalkers are better than Mutas, Chicken Man? That's crazy. Bruh. Stalkers are so good. I know they are, man. I know they are. You're watching too much high-level StarCraft 2, Chicken Man. That's why. You can win 2 whole matchups with just Stalkers. I can do the same with roaches. Why aren't we putting roaches up there? If they can be S in the right hands, shouldn't they be S? Is it S? Are Stalkers really S? Alright. 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 Chicken Man, that's your one veto. That's your one veto. That's your one veto. The reason why, before chat loses their mind, no, listen. Listen, chat, listen. The reason why is because the better you are, the better the stalker is. The better that you are, the better the stalker is. Whereas roaches, I mean, yes, there is still some micro to be done, but I feel like the ceiling for roaches is way down there. But the better, the 100%, the better you are, the better the stalker is. And you can outright just out-micro win games with them. That's placing tier strength based on player strength. Well, at the end of the day, the unit has to be used. If the thing is, if a unit can literally be microed to just win, I think it should be an S. I think it should be S. No other unit on this list can you micro besides maybe Immortal, but that requires another unit, which is the Warp Prism. No other unit on this list can you just micro perfectly and probably just win the game. Not even Marine, because Marine you need to have medevac. You can micro stalkers and actually just win. That's my final ruling. That's my final ruling on stalker. It's S. I think it's S. All right, siege tank. Siege tank. I'm gonna go B plus or B minus, I think. S? No, it's not S. It's not A either. No. I don't think it's S or A. I really don't. I guess it's a staple in TVT. Hold on, let me think about it. Let me think about it. It's a staple in every matchup. Siege Tank is A. Against me, it's S, but that's because I'm bad. Good in all three matchups. Okay. Okay. We'll put it in A. I think A. I think that's fine. That's what our A is. So they're good. They're good in every matchup. Scales pretty friggin' well. You can make entire compositions of basically just tanks. Yeah, I'm gonna go with A. I'm gonna go with A. Just tanks is semi-trash. Well, just almost anything is semi-trash. Except for, like, Stalker. Just Stalker can win. It's bad against a lot of things, though. Okay, let's think. Versus Terran, you pretty much have to make tanks. Like, that's just a no-brainer. It's S in TVT. I've watched enough of Sal's games to know that it's S. Versus Protoss, I feel like it's pretty fucking good still. B plus maybe. Versus Zerg, good against basically everything. Except for flying units. Yeah. Yeah. I think it averages out to an A. I think it averages out to an A. Alright. We're gonna go with A. We're gonna go with A. Alright, Tempest. Tempest. We all know, guys. We all know. We all know. It's not Broodlord tier. It's not Broodlord tier. It's close, but it's D. It's D tier. It is D tier. Yeah, it's just bad. Yeah, D rank. D rank. Okay, High Templar. High Templar. Tempest rank. High Templar. S S A S S easily. S S. Yeah, High Templar is High Templar is S for sure. A because PvP? No, it's S. It's S, dude. Don't even try to tell me it's useless in PvP. Oh no, is it really? Storm is really good. Is it really useless in PvP? Do they not make High Templar in PvP? It makes Archons in PvP. Okay, well, we're not basing a unit off of the thing that it can become. I honestly think High Templar is so good versus Zerg and so good versus Terran that even the fact that you don't make them versus Protoss, High Templar is still S tier. I honestly think that. Yeah, I think they're S. They're like triple S in PvT and PvZ. If they were made in versus Protoss, we would probably give High Templar their own rank. Okay, it's S. We're going with S. Thor. We're near the end. Thor. D. Okay. S. Okay, well that went around a lot. C. B plus. C. C. C plus. B plus. Thor is B plus. B minus. C. Thor is B minus. A. I want to say that Thor, I think it's, okay. No way Thors are better than Colossus. Yeah. See, that's what I'm thinking of, guys. I do not think Thors are as good as Adepts or Observers. I think Thors are more niche than that. When do you make Thors versus Protoss? The anti-air, though? But, okay, but when do you make Thors versus Protoss? Versus Carriers. Which you don't make versus... which they never make anyways, right? But do they not make Carriers because Thors exist, or because Marines exist? C. You're right, they counter Broodlords, but Broodlords are in Broodlord tier. Thors are the Marines of mech. Thors are killed by Zerglings. Let's just... They deny Carriers. When do you make Thors versus Terran? Yeah, that's another question I actually don't really know the answer to. Fast Thor kills everything and there's no counter to it. That's not true. That is not true. If you got the time to mass Thors, you won the match already. Okay. Alright, we're going C. I think Thor is C. It's just not... It's niche. It's very niche. Yeah. Yeah, like, Thor is a niche unit. Very good at that niche of killing air units, but just extremely niche. Slow, clunky boy. Alright, Ultra. Ultra. Ultralisk. Ultra's underrated. B plus, B minus. Ultra C, C, B plus, B plus. Alright. Let's talk it out. Let's talk it out. Let's talk it out. Let's talk it out. ZVZ. Ultra. Pretty good, actually. Pretty good. Actually, pretty much good against everything. Lurkers can counter them, but even still, Ultras can still walk through that and do pretty miraculous stuff. Versus Protoss. When was the last ZVZ you played that lasted till Ultra? I play them all the time. It's my go-to game plan. That's the thing, though. Most ZVZs don't get to Ultras, and I will take that into account. Versus Bio, very good. Versus Bio, very good. Marine Marauder, Ultras can perform just fine. Ultras versus specifically carriers. Like Carrier High Templar. Very niche army. Like to be specifically just High Templar. Don't Marauders wipe them? They do very good against them. You need to have a lot though. And typically they won't make that until they see them. I think we can put Ultra in... I mean, are they D, guys? Are they really D? Where do we think they... Like, where are they? Let's do another poll. Okay. Alright, I'll put D here. They're not S. We know they're not S. I think they're... If we put... I feel like Colossus is better than Ultra, though, no? Isn't Colossus better than Ultra? Maybe B- for me. Really close between B- and C. Colossus should be in B- in your opinion? Colossus better than C though? The Colo? Do we think Colossus should be B-? Colo is B-. Okay, we'll go B-. It looks like B- for Ultra as well. So they're in the B- tier. Good against the matchups they're good against, but bad against the ones they're not. Like, not usable versus the ones that they're not. I think that's B-. I think that's B-. Viking. What do we think about Viking, guys? D, A, C, A, B-, D, B+. Viking is D or C? C. Worst anti-air. Yo, Demonizer, thank you for the follow.
Oh, man. Hey, Jerry,
B, B+, C. They feel so nice. I don't know why. Viking is C. This is all over the place again. Alright, I gotta make another one. We gotta let the people decide. Viking. I think we can also determine they're definitely not S. C, T. TBT is their only good matchup. Viking is pretty useless in TVZ. You make like one Viking. You make like one Viking. I might go C. Everyone's saying C because there's Zergs and it's bad in TVC. I mean, that's not incorrect.
Oh, there's Twitch channel.
Viking DPS near the same as Corruptor?
Oh, man.
No.
Hey, Jerry, say that fantastic.
I don't think so. Sir Plastic Spoon, thank you for the follow, buddy. Appreciate that. I could see B-. I could see B-. They are definitely used in TVT, and they're used in TVP. You know what? We're gonna go B-. We're gonna go B-. I changed my vote. I'm gonna change my vote. It's B-. Yeah, they're B-. They're B-. Viper. Viper. What do we think about Viper? S, S, S. A maybe S, 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 A. Yeah, Viper is S. Viper is S. Yeah. Yeah, it's S. Yeah, definitely Viper's S. Good in all 3 matchups. No wasted spells. Can instantly refill its energy. It's crazy. Yeah. Just 3 amazingly good spells. And can instantly refill its energy back to full at the sacrifice of like 125 minerals. Runs out of energy, very expensive, not useful against bio. No, wait, disagree. Useful against bio for sure. Can refill its energy very easily. It is expensive, I give you that. But useful against bio for sure. Parasitic Bomb on the Metavax, Blinding Cloud on the bio, Pull on the tanks or Blinding Clouds. It's S for sure. It's S for sure. It's definitely S. It's definitely S. Viper is D. Apoptosis 808 is influential now. Just type D to play it on the safe side. No. Alright, Archon. 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 Archon B minus. A. C. A. When is Archon bad? Versus Terran. Versus when they get to ghosts. When they get to ghosts, Archon deleted immediately. Archons suck against Terran most of the time. They're great versus all Zerg, pretty much. Versus Protoss, they're also used pretty often. So good versus Protoss, so good versus Zerg, good versus Terran. What even counters Archons as a Zerg? More stuff. Non-light units, roaches. We'll go B+. B+ is where we put stuff that's like really good in 2 matchups and then like really drops off hard in another one. B+. That's fair. That's fair. That's fair. Void Ray. Void Ray. S. A. S. Which matchup does Archon drop off? Terran. S. A. S. Giga Chad tier. A. Overrated. Yeah, they are good though. Proxy Void Ray raid wins tournaments. Void Ray is C. Powix, I don't think I've ever agreed with anything you've said so far on this tier list. Alright, we're gonna do a straw poll on this one. Void Ray. S, A, B+, B-, C. Vote. Let me know what you think. Easiest S tier unit of my life. After today's pylon show, Neuro is like, dude, there is literally their S. Their S. I think I'm gonna put them in S. I honestly do. They're very good. They're extremely good. They're like S++ in PvZ. But versus Terran, it's also very good, and versus Protoss, it's also very good. So how easy it is for Protoss to secure a third? Yeah. Yeah, I think it's S. Yep, it's S. It's S. Widow Mines. Widow Mines. Once I'm done with this, by the way, we can do some Dota Neuro. I'm down. Widow Mines. A, S, B plus A, beams or B plus C. A or even S. Widow Mines are good versus Terran and Zerg, and I think they're used versus Protoss even, right? Yeah, they are. So that's A. I don't think they're S. I don't think they're S. I think it's A. I think it's S. I think it's A. You don't think we've seen the full potential of Widow Mines? I know that they can do mine drops really nicely, but yeah, I think A is the way to go. Okay, Zealots. S versus Zergs, you don't know that range hiders outrange them. Or Ravagers absolutely just, like, 2 Ravagers, and the Widow Mines no longer do anything, dude. Zealots. Where are Zealots? Charge lots A. Zealots A. Neuro says S. Cheap, good staple. Solid fodder. Deletes, absolutely deletes tech units. Zealots C. S. A. Requires charge. Such high value for mineral only unit. It matters a ton if they have charge or not. Sure. Zealots rarely use. That is for C. No way, dude. You're crazy. Do they use them in all matchups? Versus Terran, Protoss, and Zerg? Yes. Are they exceptionally good in all matchups? They're very good versus Zerg. I don't know how they do as well versus Protoss and Terran. 100%. And they're S tier. And they're S tier. Yes, they do require an upgrade for them to be their full potential, but then they're S tier for sure. All right, and the last one. The last one, Zergling. Zergling, our last unit that we need to tier out, guys. S S S B plus S A S A A S S S. I think Zerglings are S as well. Where did it go? Uh-oh. What have I done? Where did my Zergling go? Oh, I put them in here. No, I want them back in the... I'm gonna put them in S for now. Hold on. So, let's think about it. Good in all matchups. Extremely, possibly actually the most value-dense unit per supply. Costs literally nothing. Scales extremely well at all phases of the game. Behind Marines, but still very good. And they have the highest value upgrade in the entire game. They have the entire, like, they have the best upgrade in the entire game with Adrenal. Adrenal Gland. Oh yeah, Adrenal Gland is the, if you put Adrenal as any for any other unit in the game, you would break the game. You would like, if literally any other unit got Adrenal, it would break the game. It's permanent stim. It's exactly what it is. Permanent stim. Yeah. So yeah, they're S tier. All right, so this is our tier chart, guys. I think we did a pretty good job. I like where we've landed on basically all of this. Let's look it over. Do we need to move anything? We've got Marine in S. In our S tier, we've got Marine, Disruptor, Lurker, Medevac, Baneling, Probe, Queen, Ravager, Warp Prism, Stalker, High Templar, Viper, Void Ray, Charge Lot, Zergling. Alright, good night, Chickaman. I think those are all good. I think those are all S tier units. Neuro, how do you think we did? Out of curiosity. A tier, we have Mutalisk, Phoenix, Ghost, Overseer, Carrier, Drone, Corruptor, Roach, Siege Tank, and Widowmine. B plus tier, we have Hellion, Immortal, Marauder, Oracle, Overlord, Dark Templar, Liberator, SCV, Sentry, and Archon. B minus tier, we have Cyclone, Raven, Observer, Adept, Colossus, Ultralisk, Viking. In C tier, we have Infestor, Reaper, Hydra, Banshee, BC, and Thor. D tier is Hellion, Swarmhost, Tempest. Broodlord tier, we have Broodlord and Mothership. I'd put Stalker a lot lower, maybe B tier. The reason why Stalker is an S tier neuro, we actually discussed Stalker, I think, the longest. We talked about Stalkers a lot. Is because they scale, I think, better than any single unit in the game, the better the player is with Blink Micro. Any mono collection of units, Stalker scales the best. Because you can out micro and just straight up win a lot of games with Stalker. Just pure Stalker. Like 4 or 5. There's no other unit that I know of that you can do that. That you can actually micro as effectively as just a Stalker. I think it has the best potential of micro in the game, besides maybe Warp Prism. We need regular Stalkers and parting Stalkers. Alright, let's see how we did. Let's see how we did. We're gonna see the community rank. Oh my word. This must be old. What? Siege Tank S? Ghost and Thor S? Liberator S? These people they're fucking high. They're drunk. Void is C. It's old. It must be. This must be old. What is this? A tier. Widowmine. Okay. I can see the arguments for a lot of A tier. Infestor is not A tier. This is just a balanced wine submission form. No, it's just a tier ranking. And not everything can be as good as other stuff. Infestor is C-D tier. Yeah, that's why we put it in D tier. Or C tier. Broodlord is not A. Oh, these people are crazy. This is crazy. This is crazy. No, this is not it. Mothership D tier, okay. Swarmhost, okay. This person died to Broodlords recently. Yeah. Alright, there we go, guys. There we go. We've done it. If you would like your, we'll make it a command. Adcom SC2 tier. Boom. I'm pretty sure this takes us to the right spot. Yeah, it does. There we go. Cool. Immortalized forever. Well done, everybody. We got there. I want to look at this again. Queen, yes. Marine, yes. Liberator, absolutely not. Siege Tank, no. Ghost, no. Thor, no. Baneling, yes. Widowmine, yeah, A. Immortal Marauder, no, not A. Infestor, definitely not A. Hydra is 1000% not A. Raven is not A. Broodlord is the Broodlord tier all the way down at the bottom. In the boiler room of hell. I don't think Cyclone is that good. Viking is not B. Neither is Banshee. Reaper is certainly not B. Hellbat is fucking never gonna be B, dude. Not in a million years. You guys, this community is crazy. Disruptor C? Oh, what? Disruptor C? Oh, man. Wow. Insane. Insane.